ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ Thank you for joining us on this Sunday. Um, and we continue our journey over the last few weeks. We haven't been able to do the Sunday journey, so apologies from me. So, as witnessing the two did, we may have seen 15, 16 months ago that there will be times that we may experience food shortages, and maybe even time shortages to do with basic needs. Um, these are now manifesting in front of us. No time now to discuss the pros and the cons. It's about looking at life in a very serious way and making some current disciplined decisions. Where do you focus? Where do you maintain your attention? The write up that we've included in today's session and last Thursday session is something that really does need to be read, reread, and understood. So you can see, in fact, we are now in it and we are starting to experience different parts. So now it's no longer a question of is it happening? Is this for our good? Is this not for our good? You can, if you're in a state of uncertainty, really you're not focused over the next 3 months, 6 months as we go along. The collapsing nature of our health systems, the increase of individuals who are hospitalized as a result of the uh, poison and the after effects of that. You can already see now in Israel, Guam, parts of the UK, and even Australia. I think today the health minister admitted that in one particular place, 97 of the people who are hospitalized with the C word had been infected. So it's important to realize that there are new situations that are arising, whether they are intended or not, time will tell. But there are new situations now arising around the world that are starting to make individuals question the viability of what's going on. So, in terms of the severity, we are now, of course, if we are in a deluded state, then nothing is too severe. Life seems normal. It's just a little bit of inconvenience. If we are starting to see through the delusion, then we can see that the three areas that we will begin to see the unfolding nature of our crisis are going to be the health sector, which is undergoing right now, uh, followed by, or should I say, simultaneously, at the same time, the economy with the furlough and the help now starting to be withdrawn. Many will start to feel the impact of the shrinking economy between now and spring, and the impact that has on people, their lives, celebrations, families, etc., paying the mortgage, etc. So we are starting to experience that, and with the economy, obviously, the financial system is in concerns, and as we have indicated several times before, it's better to have a little bit of cash in your pocket. If you can't get to your ATM, or if you can't get to your online banking. And while this may sound like a wild conspiracy understanding, it was last week reported that a significant amount of banks, certainly in parts of the States, had started experiencing issues to do with funds. So, with the economy, the financial system, now obviously the financial system is being switched over behind your back. And we will see funds, or we're unable to access the banking system. That is a shift from one type of system to another. The chances are things will kind of bounce back in time, but there may be a period of time where you and I and others are unable to access some of that. So In these times, it's good to prepare for yourself and to prepare yourself for others as well. There are many who don't have the resources that you and I may have. So collectively, a little goes a long, long way. If everyone bring, a couple of bags of rice together, many people can be fed. So little things can go a long way. So economy, financial system. On the health system, already I've just had an internal newsletter from the health community or health sector said to me, we're starting to identify a shortage in drugs simply because of the supply chain. So it would be useful to people who are on medication to make sure that during this and turbulence and chaotic changes that we are experiencing in our everyday life now, that you have enough to take care of yourselves. It is obviously, prudent um, to be prepared, uh, but at the same time, not to get into a state of panic or anxiety or anything like that. Know that nature has a way of looking after itself, but at the same time, nature also provides us with the understanding to make the changes that we need to change. And if we don't change, then obviously the consequences are ape bj ape kai. What you do is what you get. What you sow is what you reap. And we are in that process now. So preparation is critical. It is really, really important for as many reasons as I can become a little bit unmoved. So economy, health, and the third area that I want to just touch on is your governments, or those that we have allowed to become the tyrants that we are now experiencing. And the nebulous experience, underhanded dealings, the pockets of politicians, lobby groups, scientists being connected with pharmaceutical companies, or those who have an interest being connected with pharmaceutical companies, or those who have an interest in being uh, validated to be alive every few weeks, every few months, that and someone has to pay for that. And so the individuals who are providing us with the funnily enough, the main board, if you listen to their CEO, people like that, they themselves are not entering into any of this stuff. So that should make you think. But anyway, those who have made the choices have made the choices, whichever side you're on. And there are sides that have been whichever side you're on. And there are sides that have been created, and you've got to remember that this divide and rule is a strategy that's used and perpetrated and propagandized within to such that it becomes our mental state, that we begin to think in the same way. So we can quite easily be deluded by others, but we can quite easily delude ourselves. And there's a very beautiful story in the Zen tradition that um, demonstrates how easy it is for us to delude ourselves. And we can delude ourselves in different ways. We can delude ourselves through stories. We can delude ourselves in anger. We can delude ourselves when we are craving something, when we are overcome by an emotional space. We are deluded from clarity. So the story goes like this: that there's an individual who has been practicing the path of self-discovery and is considered to be extremely wise individual who overflows compassion. So one day, this individual goes out for a walk. It's late at night, and it's been raining, and he hears something being squashed under his foot. And in the darkness, he looks down and he sees that actually it seems that he has stood on a frog which had eggs with it. So there was all this debris around, little bits of black spawn that, or seemed like spawn. And so, as an individual who was deeply empathetic with life, soon as he realized what had happened, was so troubled and felt that his the eightfold path of his way, which was right conduct, that he was not aware of where he was walking, and therefore his conduct was not appropriate, and it uh, obviously led to this tragedy. That night, as he was sleeping, he had incredible nightmares, and he saw many froglets and tadpoles in his dreams, angry, crying, sad. And throughout his dreams, he was being tormented by that he felt that he had stood on. And throughout the night, wasn't able to get any real rest. And throughout the night, wasn't able to get any real rest. Woke up in the morning feeling extremely distressed and decided that he would go and ask for forgiveness. And as he went out, he realized that what he had stepped on was, in fact, an overripe aubergine. And this is the state of our delusions, stories we tell ourselves, and we believe the stories we are told. And the stories that we are in a belief system, and that belief system can be very distorted. And for if your mind is distorted, the world begins to be distorted. If within ourselves we don't work with awareness, then it's very easy for us to be quite particular. You know, am I going to get petrol tomorrow, or have I stood on a frog with eggs? You know, so our delusions can take many shapes. Right this moment, we are many shapes. Right this moment, we are waking up from our delusions. And when you wake up from your delusions, sometimes it can be very liberating, like our spiritual friend earlier on, when he realized that he was liberated from his torment. He was liberated from his torment. Now, on the other hand, sometimes when we are wake up from our delusions, we have been lied to. Ask anyone who has gone through betrayal, and they will tell you how the betrayal can be. So betrayal, at that humanity is moment is with the level of betrayal that has been perpetrated on individuals and their previous generations and their coming generations. And that in itself can become a huge burden of distress. Times that we are now moving into October. So if you remember, the summer was hot, things getting hot, but there was a little bit of clarity. Hey, life is that will be a little bit more attention seeking than the current ones. My advice to you, suggestions to you is don't panic. Because if you are in a state of panic or anxiety, then you've lost the game. You have been caught by the trap. So don't panic of predatory capitalism, with the all individuals, institutions, and society as a whole, whether we like it or not. As we said to you, there will never be going back to normal. That those days are new normal, your normal. I revoke those words. Your normal, a normal of where there is peace. You know, we need logically so advanced. It is full of resources, but yet we have been manipulated. We have been pushed. We have been poisoned. Right? Even though there is enough information to say the damage that can. You want to live in a life where you have no choice. You have no choice to be able to go from to the supermarket. You have no choice to be unless they have a. Because if this is a society that you want, then you know we're on the way to it. Um, so all of us, each and every individual, has a responsibility now and the responsibility is for us to begin to see what's actually happening around us and stop living in that delusional self uh, self-affirming, self-validating, denial state. No. There are these people are there to have this predatory pyramid. So October is the start of very significant changes within the systems, health system, economic system, financial system, and governments. October begins to catalyze the flood of information that will be here by November, December, which will become far more valuable in individuals identifying exactly what has been done, what is going on, and make choices based on the information that's coming. There's all these pockets of information that are emerging from different avenues, and those who have the agenda, let's just call it that, are very desperate to keep this information down. So there's a level of panic and desperation in trying to hide the truth that is now starting to emerge, whether it's to do with this, whether it's to do with the agenda, whether it's to do with the manufactured fuel crisis, whether manufactured food supplies. These are manufactured crises by a bunch of individuals who have been given, we are just now coming to the apex. So the good news is that through this storm, through this change, transformation, remember, stand in your truth, stand in your truth, realize what's happening as it's happening. Through that, you will discover your power, your own sovereignty. With this comes control, and with the control comes transformation. So stand in your truth. Things are the way they are, and if they don't seem right to you, they're not right. Two, once you exercise that, your own truth, you will yourself recognize what it means to have will, intention, and what I mean by power. Will and intention, the ability to exercise your willingness deliberately and consciously. That gives you control over what is happening to you and control over what you want to do as in the world that you're navigating. And all of that is a process of transformation. It's a process of growth. And that's where we're at. And that's where we are. So to leave you with a few words, October is likely to be Red October for sure. Good to prepare, make sure and protects us with against certain kinds of infections. Meditation is critical, absolutely critical. Meditation with mantra is perhaps in the coming weeks. Mantra of frequency medicine, how we use sound in order to hold our mind in peace, because the energy we're in at the moment will make our mind um, um, very active, and therefore being distracted by one thing and another. So it's important. Meditation is essential. Movement, increase your movement, qigong, tai chi, go for walks, jog if you can, wrestle if you want, but move, get your body moving a little bit more, because it's important to navigate ourselves through the winter that is upon us right now. Vitamin D3 now. Vitamin D3, absolutely critical, and make sure that you have that, and everyone that you know has that. And the value that has is in preventing infections is now apparent everywhere. Okay, so we will now go through our meditation as ever. And remember, the purpose of all of these talks that we've been doing is simply providing individuals some methodology of navigating the changes that we're going through. And as we're going through these changes, how to maintain not just your health and well-being, but how to contribute positively to to the changes that we are going through. Meditation, it's always coming back to our essential self. And in our essential self, we will discover our truth, we will discover our power. Imagining your as you breathe in, you bring your focus upwards, so you become aware of your hips, the front of your hips, your pelvis, and then the back. And as you breathe out, you begin to take this focus down your thighs. Remember, we're looking for sensations. We're sensing the thighs, looking for sensations. And then from our knees, we move this focus down our forelegs, all the way down towards our ankles. From our ankles, we become aware of our feet. From our feet, we become aware of the soles of our feet. Moving your awareness back to the chair or the floor that you're on. And now just notice how grounded the body is. The fact that you're embedded in this place, in this time. So wherever you are, you can't be anywhere else. The ground beneath you is the only ground that can hold you. The air in front of you is the only air that you can breathe in and you can breathe out into. The temperature, the air, the fragrance. The temperature, the air, the fragrance. Here and now. And not just does it hold you in this here and now, bringing your focus to your breath. With every breath, there's a new moment. Breath by breath, moment by moment. And this moment connects you to the moment that's about to come. And this moment connects you to all the moments that and all the moments. Once again, notice. See if you can recognize that. As you breathe in, bring your focus up your back, slowly scanning the lower back, middle back, shoulder blades, shoulders. From your shoulders, bringing this focus down to your elbows. From your elbows, moving this focus to your wrists. From your wrists, moving to the palms of your hands. Notice the fingers on your hands. Begin to notice the darkness. Begin to notice the darkness. The fact the fact that you have awareness, and the awareness of behind your eyelids is darkness. Becoming aware of that darkness. As you breathe out, allow this part of the body to soften that darkness. As you breathe out, allow this part of the body to soften and relax. Bringing your focus now to your mouth. Notice your tongue. Allow your tongue to soften. Allow your tongue to soften. Notice the sensations on the roof of your mouth, inside your cheeks. And then as you breathe out, relaxing your face, bringing your nose and holding it there. As the breath comes in, once again becoming aware of your inner space. How does the mind feel now? The mind feel now? What thoughts are there? If there are any, let them come, let them go. Bringing your focus to your chest and hold it there. Begin to notice the movement of your chest. In sync with your breath. And as you hold your awareness there, begin to notice how you feel in this moment right now. Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel uncomfortable? Are you in suffering, dukh, or are you in non-suffering? So, feel peace, or are you irritated, angry, or do you feel calm? Or do you feel calm? How do you feel in this moment now? When you're ready, gently open your awareness to all the sounds around you. Seek your sounds out or to search them out. Allow them to come to you, acting like a receiver. Sounds that may be close to you, sounds that may be further away from you. And then using the sound of this bell to train our awareness into the silence. Gently bringing your focus just beneath your nose, holding the focus, anchor, simply watching the breath as it comes in and as it goes out of your body. Allow your breath to breathe by itself. Notice the in breath as it comes in from the start all the way till the end. Notice the out breath as it goes out, start all the way till the end. If you find that your focus has drifted, you've been distracted by some thoughts or a sound, notice your distraction, focus back firmly, gently holding it beneath your nose, allowing the breath to breathe itself. Notice that the in breath has a start, length, end. Out breath has a start, length, end. See if you can notice that. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. Notice there's a tiny little gap at the end of at the end of your in breath. See if you can notice the two gaps on either side of your breath. Stay with your breath. Follow your out breath all the way till the end. Notice how long that gap lasts at the end of your out breath before the in breath begins. Allowing yourself to get deeper and deeper into this moment. Alert yet relaxed. Stay with your breath. Allowing each out breath to move you deeper and deeper into this moment. Notice how you're breathing now. How does your breath feel? Is the out breath the same as the in? Does your breath feel light or does it feel heavy? Does it feel light or does it feel heavy? Does your breath feel fast or does it feel slow? Stay with your breath. Notice how the breath breathes by itself. Is your breath flowing easily or does it feel erratic? Or does it feel erratic? Stay with your breath. Does your breath feel light and subtle or does it feel heavy and labored? Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. On your next breath out, Once again, gently opening your awareness to all the sounds around you, listening, 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 following the sound of this bell as far as you can. Notice how you feel, acknowledging your experience. When you're ready, bringing your focus just beneath your nose again and just sitting with your breath. Allowing your breath to breathe by itself, your focus gently held beneath your nose. On your next breath out, once again expand your awareness, becoming aware of your whole body. Notice how the body feels still and silent. Notice you still where you began, the ground holding you where you began. Sensations where your body makes contact with the chair or the floor. You can sense your thighs all the way down to your ankles, moving down to your feet, and then finding your soles of your feet. Your back is now straight and upright. Shoulders, arms, hands relaxed. Coming back to your breath. And now, as you breathe in, you can sense your body. As you breathe out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. Notice how you feel within yourself. Give thanks for this time that you've taken to look after yourself. Know that you're looked after. Know that you're safe. Know that you have this peace that resides within you. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few deep breaths in, and in your own good time, gently opening your eyes. Thank you very much. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.